Now, welcome back to the Prospect Hub, where we talk about Mets prospects and what's going on in the Mets minor leagues every day. Now, I would ask you, if you would, please become a member of this channel. I'm trying to grow this channel. And please send me a wonderful super thanks. It's a great way to help me out. It's a great way to support the channel. This is a very quiet period and on YouTube for us YouTubers that are trying to sort of, do a good job online. I mean, really, this is the quiet time. I need your support, especially people that watch all the time. This is from Mets Minors, and they do a great job. They really do. Mets Weekly Report, Felipe de la Cruz shines in Triple-A debut. Multiple Mets minor leaguers received accolades and praise this week for their play, whether it was for the month of April or just for the most recent series. One of those players, Felipe de la Cruz, was named International League Pitcher of the Week. A relatively overlooked lefty pitching prospect who had an ERA above 4 for High-A Brooklyn last year, De La Cruz shined by tossing 6 scoreless innings with just 1 hit allowed and 9 strikeouts in his Syracuse Mets debut. De La Cruz is soon to be 24 years old and has been one of the most notable breakout pitchers in the Mets farm system this year. Now, pitching can come from anywhere. A big pitcher can come from any source at any point. The best example is Jacob deGrom, who was a very high draft pick. It was a 10th or 11th pick in 2010 draft, 2009 draft, and he became a star. But he was going to the Mets minor leagues. People thought that he was going to be a middle reliever. Well, he became one of the best pitchers in the Mets history of the Mets. The Syracuse Mets had a rough series against the Scranton-Wilkes-Barre Rail Riders, dropping 4 of the 6 games in the series. Mets lost the first 3 games of the series, 2 of which were shutouts, but they avoided total embarrassment by grabbing 2 of the last 3 games of the series. Syracuse is 15-18 this year. While Felipe de la Cruz is receiving most of the attention in Syracuse, Drew Gilbert is also settling in nicely with his Triple-A squad after a really strong week against the Rail Riders. Gilbert went 5 for 17 with a homer and a double, and he also drove in 3 runs while scoring 5 of his own. Gilbert struck out just 3 times in 6 games and walked 5 times with a 987 OPS for the series. Gilbert now has an 823 OPS through 14 games with AAA this year. Donovan Walton had a strong week at the plate, as he was the only Met to hit multiple home runs in the series. He had 2. He also led the team with 7 hits and tied for the team lead with 2 doubles. Watson now owns a 752 OPS on the year. Rico Garcia pitched 4 scoreless innings, and TJ Shook 3 scoreless innings. Stood out as quality bullpen arms this past week. Garcia didn't allow a single hit and walked 2 with 3 strikeouts, while Shook allowed a hit and a walk with 4 strikeouts. The Binghamton Rumble Ponies in Double-A played 6 games, including 2 doubleheaders, against the Erie Seawolves this past week. And this week, the series was very even, with both teams taking 3 games each, including split of both doubleheaders. Their own opponents are 15-11 through 26 games. The big news out of Binghamton is that Nolan McLean has been promoted to the Syracuse Mets. His last start with the Rumble Ponies was a fantastic one, as he tossed 6 scoreless innings with 4 strikeouts. That brought his ERA on the year down to 1.37 through 5 starts. Jed Williams has been hot at the plate, and he continued his strong performance against Erie. In 5 games, Williams went 5 for 16 with 3 doubles and a stolen base. He also struck out just once and walked twice. After recording a 529 OPS in 22 games with Binghamton last year, Williams owns an 873 OPS in 21 games with Binghamton to start 2025. And I would mention he was hurt all year long, so he missed a lot of time. William Lugo is hitting 324 on the year for the Roman Ponies, and that average received a burn due to an 8 for 20 week against Erie. Lugo hit a home run and 3 doubles, though he did strike out 7 times with no walks. His deficiency in walks this year makes his 755 OPS seem disappointing compared to his stellar batting average. Though the Mets will take the hits after he batted just 185 in Brooklyn last year. Nick LaRussa also looked strong at the plate against Erie, going 6 for 16 with a home run, a double, and 2 walks. LaRussa owns an 823 OPS through 22 games this year. Jonathan continues doing what he does best in the lone start against Erie, striking people out. Tong allowed a run in 4 innings, striking out 8 in the process. He now owns a 3.38 ERA in 5 starts this year with 38 strikeouts and 21 1/3 innings. Tom could be joining McLean in Syracuse later this summer. We'll see. Because his walk total and his walk rate is kind of high. It's a little bit higher than it was last year, so we got to monitor that. Now, he is high A. This is the Brooklyn Cyclones won their series against the Wilmington Blue Rocks, taking 4 out of 6 games. The Cyclones excelled offensively, scoring 44 runs in the series, though they also received some great pitching performances. Brooklyn is now 17-9. This is probably the Mets' best farm team. 2 Cyclones, Zach Thornton, who's now with Binghamton, and Jacob Reamer, earned awards for the month of April, with Thornton being named South Atlantic League Pitcher of the Month and Reamer being named South Atlantic League Player of the Month. While Thornton has already been promoted and Reamer hasn't, the third baseman might not be far behind as he has continued his success into May. In the series against Wilmington, Reamer went 10 for 25 with 3 home runs, 2 doubles, and 7 RBIs. He owns a 10.27 OPS through 25 games this year. He is another player that was hurt all last year. So the fact that he's playing and he's got, last week, national recognition for hitting 3 home runs in a game, he's on his way. He's on his way. Carson Benj and Ronald Hernandez also had scorching performances at the plate during the series. Benj went 8 for 22 with a triple, 2 doubles, and 6 runs scored, while Hernandez went 8 for 18 with 2 home runs, 5 RBIs, and 4 runs scored. Benj continued to heat up, improving his OPS on the year to 787, while Hernandez now owns a 750 OPS. A couple of things on Tuesday. All 8 players in the starting lineup, all were top 30 prospects, excluding the starting pitcher. So every player that was in the lineup, including the DH, what am I talking about? Every player in the Mets lineup was a top 30 prospect. That's very good. Tells you how good that team is. Paul Blackburn made his first rehab start of the year as he looks to work his way back to the Mets for his 2025 debut. Blackburn allowed 2 runs in 3 innings but struck out 6 in the effort. Noah Hall made 2 of the starts in this series and looked great, allowing just 3 runs in 10 innings with 12 strikeouts. Hall has been phenomenal through 6 starts, owning a 1.88 ERA. Joel Diaz finally allowed his first run of the season in his 5th appearance, allowing just a 1 run in 5 innings. Diaz will now have to settle with owning a 0.44 ERA, unbelievable, instead of the 0.00 ERA he had held entering this past week. Unbelievable. What a shame. Here we are at the St. Lucie Mets, the low A team, split their series with the Jupiter Hammerheads, though they now sit in first place in the division due to a 5-loss skid from the Palm Beach Cardinals, who had been in first place. St. Lucie owns a 15-12 record through 17 games this year. While he has since been promoted to Brooklyn, A.J. Yoon was recognized as being the best batter in the Florida State League for the month of April after a dazzling 11.21 OPS. Jonathan Enriquez was the standout hitter for the Mets against the Hammerheads, even though he went just 3 for 14. He had 2 home runs and walked 4 times, giving him an OPS over 1,000 for the series. The struggling Enriquez now owns a 606 OPS for the year. Simon Wan had a positive week after being in a massive slump to start the year. 19-year-old who broke out in Rookie Bowl a year ago went 8 for 22 with a home run and 4 runs scored. He still owns just a 521 OPS. The stars of the week, however, were 2 starting pitchers in Nate Dome and Edgar Moreta. Dome struck out 6 over 5 1/3 innings, scoreless, while Moreta struck out 5 over 5 scoreless innings. Dome has been impressive this year with a 2.22 ERA in 6 starts, while Moreta has also looked good with a 3.57 ERA in 5 appearances, including 3 starts. Irvin Coda, meanwhile, shined out of the bullpen with 4 2/3 scoreless innings across 2 appearances. Coda has been phenomenal this year, on a 0.50 ERA through 6 appearances in 18 innings. The Florida Complex League Mets. The FCL Mets season is officially underway, though they have played just 1 game to this point, and are 0-1 with 9-2 loss to the Florida Complex League Cardinals. Julio Zayas and Jake Sotelo drove in the 2 runs for the Mets, while Jose Guevara started and struggled. So far, this is what we have and for the week. Interesting notes. Keep an eye on John Singleton. The Red Sox had a major injury to Tristan Casas. Maybe they make a move for him. That's been rumored a little bit. A.J. Ewing is a player to keep an eye on, and this is quite the week for the Mets minor league system. A lot of prospects got promoted. It's been a great week, really. Well, you let me know what you think about this video, and of course, again, just to remind you, I have memberships on this channel. I'd love to see everybody have a membership on here, be able to be displayed on here. It's a great way to support the channel, and it'd be great if you send me a super thanks to support me and really grow this channel. So, thank you for watching, and I'll see you later.